How to deal with cyberbullying. Damn, I could write a thesis on this one, but instead I'll just do a YouTube video. In today's world, anybody can cancel you, right? Anonymously with troll accounts. They can make up some video about you. They could do some clout chasing or whatever. Like, there's nobody today that's immune from being cancelled on social media. It's crazy. Right? The police won't do anything about it. Legally, you can't do much about it unless the person's got money. And then, yeah, you can do defamation. But if they have no money, then what are you going to do? Okay, what are you going to do? So it's a very, very interesting world out there. So like people are like, I want to have kids and stuff, and I'm gonna have this. This is gonna be great, and my kids aren't going to use social media though because I might get cyberbullied. It's like, yeah, your kids are definitely going to use social media because that's just how the world is these days. Like, every kid out there wants a phone, right? And they're going to get a phone at some point. They're going to get internet, and if they want to do social media or whatever, they'll get harassed and stalked and bullied and slandered or whatever at some point. If they have some sort of success or aesthetic or someone's jealous of them or whatever. So this is part of the deal. Like, I've coached more six-figure earning YouTubers than anybody on the planet, as far as I'm aware of. Do you know anyone out there? Here's a question for audience, my viewers, who I appreciate. Lovers and the haters, appreciate you all. Do you know anyone out there who's produced more six-figure earning income social media content creators out there than I have? I don't know anyone. I've created multi-millionaires, people who are dead broke, help them become multi-millionaires. Now, some of them quit because they couldn't handle the haters. When you got a bit of fame, then haters make some crap about you to get some clicks and stuff, and that's just how it is. And there's something about like doing comments and criticism videos, which I do. I do it on various people or products and stuff like that. Yes, fair enough. But then it crosses the line where people like will slander, just that like they have no media account or whatever. They've got a small social media footprint, but then they'll go and full slander to try and like clout off your name and stuff like that. And and a lot of people can't handle that, and that really cracks them, And even the trolls, I've seen the trolls even burn out, Like, think of back in like 2016, 2017, 2018 when I had, people were making stuff, some trolls and trying to get clout and stuff and raise some donations for whatever. And look at all those people today. Like, just spend 10 minutes one day and just, if you remember, if you watched them back then, just have a Google them up. Look how they look today. Bags under their eyes. They look depressed. They look sad. They look guilty. They look, and I got no hate for any of them. Honestly, I feel sad for them, man. I feel sad for them. It's like to make up stories about someone that aren't true, and to keep spreading those things around. Like, that's got to chew you up big time. That's got to chew you up big time. And they were showing the aesthetic. So, I got no hate for these people. I wish it was different. But, and then some of my supporters would go and cancel them. They'd find out where they worked or lived, or put things in people's letterboxes, or give Google reviews if people lose their job, or talk to their husband or wife, or just, I've got some very, very loyal followers out there who did have my back, and I appreciate you, but, some of it went a bit too far, and so, but again, this is the internet's the Wild West out there. So the big take-home message I can learn is avoid what's the word? What would be the advice? Avoid taking things personally. All right, avoid taking things personally. That's a huge one. Avoid drama if you can. But drama's, when you're at a certain level, drama's just going to find you. But I think the main thing is to avoid taking things personal. That's the big take-home message. So if someone calls you a pedo or a rapist or whatever, or a con man, or you fuck their dog or something, or just some bullshit story that's not true, then you just got to sort of roll with it, because there's nothing you can really do. I mean, you got to state your claim and say, yes, it's bullshit, blah, 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 and do your best to discredit this person and play that game, which is the game they want you to play so they can get some attention and some significance. But you sort of do have to play that game, because some of your audience members might go, wow, is this true? Is this true? So you have to show some receipts and say, yeah, nah, here's the screenshots, here's the emails, it was consensual sex, and then the boyfriend found out, blah, blah, blah. he made a 5-part documentary about it. So you just, you got to show receipts, and you sort of, if you don't, then your silence is admission of guilt, really, isn't it? It's the court of social media. In court of law, silence is generally pretty good. But in social media world, silence means generally you're guilty as fuck. All right? That's just the general rules in social media. So some people go, Harley, just let it go, mate, let it go. It's like, you can't let it go. You have to be your own barrister. You have to represent yourself on social media. If you don't, then, I mean, if I watch some situations and I'm like, wow, that person's silent about that question now. Oh, wow. So that's just projection. Geez, now they're silent. Now they pretend that topic was never even asked. It's like, okay, you see, you're guilty. But anyway, that's just the deal. It's the human drama. If you've got life, there's going to be drama. If you've got kids, there's going to be drama. If you've got a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, there's going to be drama. If you've got family, there's going to be drama. If you've got parents or kids or goats or cats or dogs or budgies in a cage, whatever, feed the birds, you're going to have some dramas, okay? So people say, bottom line, run a temple of empathy, all right? You're gonna get people who've got a mad obsession about you, and they're gonna want to get some attention from you, good or bad. All right? Take that as a massive compliment. All right? Have empathy. This person's a mad fan of mine. Didn't give them enough attention. They want to get any attention. It's better no attention, so they're going to create some drama. Okay, I'll give you a hug. And so avoid taking things personally and run from a default template of empathy. Empathy is trying to understand why someone's doing something like that. All right? People have their own reasons for whatever. Okay, so that's the one thing. Avoid taking things personally. But yeah, people suicide, man. People suicide over this stuff. They call it cyberbullying, but the cops don't. The cops do not care. All right, the cops don't care. Like, well, you have someone who's got fame, and people just share their opinions, and that's just how it is. The cops really don't care. And even if someone does get, booked, I had a girl, Hannah Lobb. She got booked for cyber stalking because she kept making videos about me and stuff like that. But the cops they give them a warning, and nothing happens. So it's like it's a toothless paper tiger. So you can go to the police, and someone might get arrested and charged, and maybe go to court and get a conviction, but it doesn't do anything. It's like the stuff's still on the internet. The stuff's still on the internet. So it's the world we live in, people. It's the internet, and it ain't going away. You got to learn to roll with it. And yeah, you can be cancelled, man. You can be cancelled. I had a guy talking shit about me on Reddit. Some people found out where he worked, just left mad negative Google reviews. He lost his job, had to pay mortgage and stuff. He lived in Melbourne, and so it's like, there is, so I've learned now, it's like, damn, like, but I mean, if I work for myself, so it's all right. But yeah, people can cancel you, man. So you can be careful out there, people, who you rounds up or whatever. Often people think we're anonymous, but nothing's really anonymous online. All right, if you do enough homework, you can generally find out, who wrote whatever. If you really want to, because generally people who are obsessed about you, you know who they are eventually, because they'll eventually show their face. So then you can compare their writing styles. Oh, this person did it, and then boom, then it just goes from there. It's just chaos. So I guess end of the day, I like to say, if you wouldn't say something to someone's face or jump on their podcast and discuss it, then don't say it. Don't say it. Simple as that. So if people do have anything they want to discuss with me, jump on my podcast. Send me a DM on Instagram. As long as you have a real name and a face, I'll answer you. We'll jump on the podcast and you can debate any points you want to debate. So I believe in that element of freedom of speech to a degree. Not freedom of screech, but freedom of speech. If you've got an argument, you say blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, jump on the durianrider podcast. Let's do a Zoom call. Let's upload it to YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And then you can make your points, state your case, and I'll come along and share my case, and we can let the audience decide what was true and what was BS. I'm the only YouTuber I know who does that, who's got over 400 million views total. If people got some serious allegations or accusations or whatever, it's like, jump on. But no one's done it yet. Not a single person. Not a single one of my haters, fans, lovers, whatever whatever category you want to put them in. Not a single person has taken me up on a live debate. All right. Big Gains didn't. No one has. All right. And it's like, come on, man. That's bullshit. Don't be such a pussy. I don't bite unless you want me to. So that's just the deal, all right? Live debate, put it out there. Otherwise, But then again, that's almost a challenge as well, isn't it? It's almost a challenge. Be like, oh, you're challenging people, and it is. But it's like, it's sort of like, yeah, it's an interesting one. This is all a whole new way of communicating as well. It's a whole new way of communicating. So I don't think anyone really has the answers. I think about this here and there on a bike ride. I'm like, yeah, this person's, what's the lesson to learn here? So, okay, have empathy, Harley. Avoid taking things personally. Have some carbs, low cortisol. But yeah, people suicide over it, man. And there's no way I would. I'm just like, I'm living a killer life. I got, all these amazing people in my life, and I absolutely love my life every single day. I wake up and I'm like, damn, I get another day of greatness. But yeah, I do see people out there who really, they do social media. I coach them up, they're making good money, and then the haters come. And man, they cannot handle it. Look what happened to Jenna Marbles, or Shane Dawson. Like that just, it crushed them. It crushed them. Because they were just they only did social media to get what's the word? Acclaim and fanfare and joyous and love and approval. And as soon as they got some rejection, they lived for the approval and they died by their rejection. I came into social media straight away to help people, all right? And I understood if you want to help people, you're going to have a lot of rejection as well. So that's why when I get trolls doing stuff about me, like, oh, dude, like, or dude, all you're doing is just killing your own career. You're not going to damage mine at all. You're hurting your own career, your own perspectives. Now you don't have me on your team. And, so I came into social media world. From looking at my first few videos, I want to help people. My first YouTube video ever was motivated because I want people to use less plastic bags. So I'm showing how to use get a pineapple entirely without using a plastic bag. So that's why I can handle the insane amount of hate on social media, because I am here 100% to help people. All right, if people can, even the haters or anyone, if they could use one word to describe me, every single person would say helpful. All right, they might say he's a douchebag, or he's up himself, or he's arrogant, or he's funny, or he's got a big schlong, or he's a good root, or a dud root, or whatever. But everyone will say, if they've spent enough time with me, Harley durianrider was really fucking helpful. He helped me out a lot. I think he's a douchebag, but if I'm being honest, he fucking helped me a lot. So that's what I'm being known as from day one. And you can't take that away from me, all right? No one can take that away from me. I'll always be known as the most helpful motherfucker in so many people's lives, all right? So that is the secret right there. If you're living from a place of purpose, all right? There's no one out there. There's no one out there who could say I haven't been incredibly helpful, if they're being fucking honest, all right? If they've known me in person and watched my content, Harley has created the most helpful content in my fucking life. But I still think he's a fucking douchebag. Okay, no worries. Call me a douchebag, whatever. But you have to admit, I helped you more than anyone with my advice. All right, no one out there gives better advice, and that's my goal. All right, that's the durianrider guarantee. All right, simple as that. Avoid taking things personally. Come from a place of empathy, and ask yourself, why the fuck am I here on social media? Is it just to make money and get laid? And those things are fun. Been there, done that. And they're good in the moment. It feels great. I was just with Natasha 2 rounds before, vasectomy life, boom, ovulation time. It's just amazing. And that's fantastic. But eventually that you get back out of bed and you get back in the real world. So having a legacy, what do you want to be known as? Right? What do you want to be known as? You want to be known as the prettiest thing out there? Well, that's going to fade. It looks fade. All right? There'll be another pretty thing come along. Another 18-year-old come through the ranks next month, next week, or next year, and you'll be forgotten. So that's why people, they put their emphasis on aesthetics. It's like, man, that's just, someone will take more steroids than you, or have a better muscle insertion, or whatever, or lie better than you can, and you'll be replaced. And that's why so many people out there feel depressed because their only reason to be on social media was money and fame and approval. And once the approval dries up, man, it hits them hard. It hits them hard, okay? And that's really, their face just goes rapidly downhill. We all get older. But when you come from a place of spite and making up bullshit, then it's going to show in your eyes real quick. So, again, no hate to anyone out there, but, man, just speak the truth when it comes to helping people, man. Just focus on helping people, all right? When you help people, when you help others, you help yourself. Simple as that.